Okay, so we live on TikTok. Hello, TikTok people. Hello there.
Let's play our theme music. All right, that's enough of that.
Do I need? Well, y'all don't know this what it say on the shirt, so it's not a big deal.
What is it? Apollo. Who is that for?
That's cool.
Oh, just put the towel across you.
They can't see.
No, you never know.
I want to
Somebody might be out there lurking. Hey, y'all. Hey. Straight no chaser.
Let me go do that. Trying to keep my job dealing with Trump.
Who's that for? Oh, just put the towel across you. All right. So, welcome.
Hey, monkeys.
We have a special.
They can't see.
We have a special.
Somebody
might be out there lurking. Hey, y'all. Hey. Straight no chaser.
Let me go do that.
I'm trying to mute it.
Okay, let me.
Who's that for? Okay.
All right, let's get this.
So, well, so far it's just me and you on here.
I done seen a couple people down there on TikTok.
That's on TikTok. So tonight we are live on TikTok and YouTube. For my TikTok people, this is Straight No Chaser, where we talk about everything. Nothing is off of the books. We talk about everything. We keep it real. This is my guest co-host, Quin. Quin, say hello to everybody.
That is not my name. My name is Bree, everybody.
Okay, we're gonna go by government names tonight. Okay. Bree, everybody. You want to tell them the whole name?
No.
Okay. So we're gonna stick with Bree. Hello, everyone. Okay, somebody sent me something. Thank you so much. I have no idea what you sent, but because my phone is sitting so far away. But thank you. I look. And it went off just that quick. Lil Joe, I believe. Thank you very much. So tonight, because my beautiful co-host is a school teacher, we are going to talk about Trump and this foolishness about dismantling the Department of Education. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to come back and talk about segregation. And I think we're going to talk about education first, because to me, that's the more serious topic. Mm-hmm. Segregation, my take on it is hilarious. I'm all for it. Let's keep it coming. All right. So, as you all may or may not know, Trump has signed. What are you doing?
Look cool. Sorry.
So Trump has signed an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education on a federal level. That includes funding for programs like Title I, Head Start, other initiatives that work with handicapped children. And so he's basically saying leave it up to the states, which in my opinion, I believe the states already have a majority say in what they do. It's just the funding part that they're going to miss from the federal government. So Quin, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I'll say,
excuse me, Bree.
When you mentioned about the states having more control. Here in Florida, over the past, I'll say 5 years, maybe a little bit before, I'll say right when COVID started, a lot of changes has happened with education. It started with the books and the curriculum, especially when it came to critical race theory, DEI, those type of initiatives. Um, DeSantis banning the books, and a lot of teachers, I remember interning, they had to like pull out books and sort through them, which is, I understand both sides of it when it comes to material that is more graphic. I say the books that were, I say, inappropriate was like talking about sex and that type of stuff. That content could be inappropriate, but other books, when it came to representing different cultures, I didn't feel like there was any issue, because it's good to have that type of representation for kids to read. And to be honest, these kids really aren't
A
reading.
lot of them live in bubbles.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal. But I know in our state there has been a lot of control over what we can teach as teachers. My first year teaching currently, I think we've probably read maybe 2 books that had an ethnic person. One, yeah, 2, and then one was with an Asian, about an Asian kid, which I felt like was cool. Those stories were interesting, but it kind of shows that shift
The disparity between the two.
Education. So yeah, very unfortunate.
Well, honestly, I can say I've seen this coming. I think everyone knew once Trump got back in office, he was going to shake things up. And I personally feel like the things that he's doing now is going to take us years to reverse, to get it fixed back. It's quickly being dismantled, but to put it back together is going to be a lot. And like I've just been telling people who don't really like keep up with politics, like, keep your head down, keep going to work, be financially responsible, and just wait it out. I saw on the news today that Trump is trying to wiggle around being able to be reelected for 2028. And so I say to that, it's time for us to really, 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 really start voting locally, on the local level, the state level, and then we can worry about the national level. As we can see, not voting has gotten us into a lot of trouble, because, and even I was just telling somebody today, even though we did go out and vote and we put Democrats in the office, a couple of, don't do that.
Dude, you could have just picked it out one by one.
Yeah, don't do that. You're making a mess.
5-year-old problems.
Yes. But Democrats were able to switch over to Republicans. And I feel like if you ran as a Democrat, damn it, you should have had to stay as a Democrat or give up your seat and let a whole nother election come through, because it's not fair that people fought hard to get elected and then switched over to the other side. That's a disgrace to the Democratic voters who put you in office. Hello, Carlos. How are you? So tonight we're talking about the dismantling of the Department of Education, and then we're going to end it up talking about segregation.
So one thing I wanted to talk about as a Head Start person, someone who experienced it, and I really feel like it benefited me, and not only me, my siblings as well, because Jay and they did it as well. And my niece Genesis, she has been doing it, and she's doing really well in school, and is very far along than some of her peers. I I don't understand. I get why he's trying to do it. They really want to break up education because we've been attacked through education for several years, way before I was born, way before she was born. And it's sad that they're taking these good resources away from people that really benefit from it. And it's not just Black kids who are in Head Start. There are other children that are in Head Start too, but they could care less about that. Also, with the Title One schools, instead of dismantling the Board of Education, how about we go in and look at these schools and see what they need? Let's start with boosting pay. Let's start with putting more behavioral resources in there. Let's start with getting families more resources. That should have been the goal, not dismantling it and putting it in the hands of the state, because some states could care less.
Right.
We live in Florida where, DeSantis, his kids probably go to private school. They don't have this. They have privilege. They don't have to deal with the same day-to-day things where you're going into these schools and it's 30 kids in a room, or there's subs in a room, not fully staffed teachers. Books are of poor quality. Curriculum isn't the best. Like, the focus is in the wrong area, and I've seen it during my first year of teaching where changes could be implemented. So for them to do that, I just want to know, where's the funding going to go, and not everybody can afford to go to private school.
Right.
And charter schools, they're cool, but we're just going to leave it at that.
And I think another thing that they're pushing for is is funding, federal funding, state funding to go into private and charter schools. That's really what they're pushing for. And that's a way to get rich kids. Is basically the segregation in the haves and the have-nots. They really don't want their kids sitting next to the Black kid, the Asian kid, the gay kid, the kid from the broken home, getting the same quality education that their child is getting. And I think what they're afraid of is they know that once minorities are educated, that our drive, our tenacity, our need to succeed, our want to succeed far outweighs the silver spoon in the mouth. Because we dominate in everything that we do.
With the Department of Education, will that affect like FAFSA and that type of stuff?
So that's part of the ongoing question. What's going to happen with student loans? Cancel them. Since Department of Education is being dismantled,
might as well.
Them student loans.
What's the point?
I ain't paying nothing.
Dude, I was waiting on even finishing because I'm paying for school or whatever. I'm like, should I even do that for next year? Like, what's the point?
Yes, you should.
What's the point?
Because once you have it, they can't take it away from you. They can try and make you pay for it, but they can't take it away from you. And I say try, but they can't take it away from you. Education is, you know how I feel about education. She's a good girl. She's very sexy. She's very smart. What she is. This is my baby, y'all. This is my daughter. She is very educated. She is so smart. She's sweet. Yes, she is. She's feisty now. She's a little hot chili pepper. Hot tamale. Yeah, but she's a good girl. I really feel personally, again, I feel like the dismantling of the Department of Education, when it comes to the money, I think that's the biggest part of it. What are they going to do with the money? What are they going to, how are states, and if, let's just say they do leave it up to the states, right? How would the state delegate the monies to smaller districts, to rural areas, Like they don't have, there was no plan. It's just like, I'm gonna end it and y'all figure it out. And as we all know, sometimes that's just not the best thing to do when it comes to leadership. Like I've seen different organizations that didn't have good leadership. What happened?
Still leaning in on the camera here.
Oh, that didn't have good leadership, and everything went to hell in a handbasket. And it's very easy for education to be that next slippage.
Yeah.
So
Also, I was thinking about if they're trying to put that in private and charter schools, are they going to open it up for, like, are they going to make it less of a lottery type thing, or like tuition based thing?
They haven't,
because they're using
there's no plan,
and that funding goes towards public education.
Yeah, there's been no announced plan. It's just like we're gonna cut it off, and it is what it is.
Also, I wonder how these are going to affect our Black colleges, because I'm not too worried about the PWIs.
I'm definitely worried about our HBCUs.
Worried about the HBCUs because
especially the smaller ones, because the bigger ones like FAMU, Bethune, your Howards, your Southern, they are able to sustain because they have a big amount of supporters.
Yeah.
But these smaller HBCUs that are struggling financially, who depend on the government to pay, they're going to end up closing their doors. And then what happens to those? Losing accreditation, losing property. If people are not paying attention as to what's going on, they really should. This is a power struggle. This is a financial struggle, and this is all a ploy to put the haves and the have-nots in separate quarters. And I don't even think it has anything to do with race. I think it has to do with money. Yeah.
I agree, because there's some
Oh yeah. KB Rob said, Lord, these poor kids. A lot of people are talking about homeschooling, but for some that will be a disaster.
Or not an option.
Exactly. Listen, I hear people talking about homeschooling their children, and then I read their post on Facebook, and I'm like, you appear to barely have made it out of high school.
Oh gosh.
How are you gonna teach your children when you barely made it out?
Shouldn't education start at home? That's why Jenny is ahead of her class. Speak on the parents preaching the importance of it. Oh, that's a very good point.
That's a very good point.
Education starts at home.
Yes.
You can't expect teachers to do all of the teaching.
That's correct.
It starts at home, and it don't take long. To Genesis, she have her little stuff that she do, and she actually enjoys it. She went to a learning facility where they pushed education, but they made it fun. So I totally agree with that. We should not rely just on the educational system to teach our kids. It starts at home, and it doesn't. We have so much resources.
Now technology. Here's the flip side to that. I just talked about them.
Oh,
people who barely made it out of high school.
That too.
Can you imagine them trying to teach? They can't even raise their kids, let alone teach them. So, public schools are needed. It's important. But Carlos is right. Learning does start at home with the parents. And I'll say this much: I've seen parents who weren't the smartest, but they found resources for their kids. Like they pushed their kids to another level. For example, and I'm not gonna say no names, she goes to church with us. She can't read, but her children, one is a principal, one is a physician's assistant. But you would not know that they were the product of a mother who couldn't read. But she did what she needed to do to make sure that her children excelled in school. Whether it was working 2 jobs, painting, going to craft shows, she made sure her children had the resources that they needed. That's right, but we are in a different time than we were with our grandparents with school us. My grandma taught me the sign language. Right. Well, that's because most grandparents now are still in the workforce. And great grandmama like to go to bingo. I tell people all the time that we as a people, we have to get back to how we were years ago when we had multi-generational families staying up under one household.
Yeah, big mama, all them.
And you know, I see a lot of these young girls like, oh, I can't find an apartment, but you got a friend that got an apartment. And you know, or they'll be like, oh, I can't find nobody to watch my kids, but you work during the day and your friend work at night. Why y'all not coming together? If y'all friends now, right? Why y'all not coming together and saying, hey, let's make this work?
There's no sense of community like
no sense of community.
We always preach it takes a village, but
nobody want to be part of the village.
Nobody wants to be part of the village. Everybody wants to be in and out. These kids don't have consistency. And they already have it bad enough. Right. And not having consistency, not having people who genuinely care just for show, that it makes it hard. Because two parents just can't do it. They have to have grandma, uncle, cousins, church members, community members. And I feel like we don't have that enough in this generation. It's like crabs in the bucket, barrel.
Yeah. Like when I was raising you guys, you know, we had extended family. We had Neil, we had Michael, we had Lanny and Maxie and them. But it's like now with Genesis, I have you, I have Jay, her daddy, Carlos is two boyfriend do help out.
Oh god.
Cousin Maxie helps out. I used to would say that my church was part of my village.
But they want to be controlling with their village. Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, and I think anybody that know me will tell you, I would rather do without than have to ask somebody. Or
you telling me I gotta say,
or you belittle myself for you to talk to me any kind of way just to get help. I can't do it, and I'm not. I won't. So my advice to parents, educators, people in the school system is just try your best with what you have. The next 3.5 years are going to be different. It's going to be difficult, but it's nothing that we as Black people of color have never seen before. We've seen this before. We've lived through it before. We made do. That's just the way it is. We're gonna have to learn how to do things a little bit differently. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say about the wonderful Department of Education?
I don't know, I'm kind of mad because I recently visited the main one, I guess the U.S. Department of Education, and I was like, my degree is in educational leadership, and with my experience right now as a first-year teacher and learning curriculum, I really wanted to work on like either curriculum or educational policies that are in place So it kind of gave me like a kind of hurt my feelings a little bit to know that there might be a possibility that it might not exist, but there's always a way to skin the cat, you know.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yes. And like I said, his thing was to cut it at a federal level. There's always state
State
and
level.
local. State and local
Our
that
state needed
yeah.
because HMH ain't cutting. And that's another thing, not to rant. So I'm a kindergarten teacher, and just looking at what these kids are learning in kindergarten, and I think about my experience, and I'm like, I don't remember this. School used to be fun. We used to be doing arts and craft and cutting and pasting, and we were on track. Like we were developmentally okay. We were academically, cognitively okay. And it's like we have all these books and stuff for these kids, and they're not grasping the information. They're not. They don't have time to really take this information in. And like some of the stuff they're going over is just like, yes, I get the importance of it, but this should have started a long time ago. This shouldn't have been their first educational experience with this type of stuff. Yeah. So I feel like they should have really looked at the bigger picture with retention, kids' reading skills, kids' math skills, people in second grade not being able to read, still sounding at work. Like there's a bigger issue than them cutting funding. But cutting funding isn't the problem. Providing more resources, more intervention, more support. If we had less behavior problems and more support with that, we would have more time to effectively teach. If we had more freedom to do our own thing. But
bring back ass whoopings.
I can't.
I mean,
at home.
Bring back whooping ass. When my kids was coming up, I whooped their ass. Yeah. I can't whoop my grandbaby ass because if she go to school and say my grandma whooped me, then DCF gonna be at the door. Too much. So she gets away with a lot of shit that my kids would have been laid out, flatlined.
She privileged.
Yeah. So bring back ass whoopings. If y'all don't get nothing else out of this today.
And parenting. Bring back parenting.
Bring back parenting. Bring back family orientation of raising children. Now I'm not saying take your kids to Uncle Buster's house to be bust up, molested. I'm saying bring back more family learning and take away those computers are good, laptops, tablets, they're good, but don't let that be your child's only source of education. Yeah. They have free websites where you can print learning pages. Mm-hmm.
It's never an excuse. It's never no excuse.
It's free stuff and I'm pretty out there.
Sure, but you have to care because I'm pretty sure. Like I ask the parents, they're like, "Oh, can you send home some extra practice?" I am more than happy to do that. Mm-hmm. I ain't got to pay for the print. Sure, right. I will gladly do that. But parents have to care. They have to care. And I'm not. It's when it comes to these kids, it's not. I'm not just putting it off on parents because I understand it's a collective thing. Like there's a whole accountability thing that has to be
right. It's a lot to
think. And I think that's probably part of the reason why they're eliminated because they feel like, well, these kids ain't learning nothing. They don't care. So let's just cut the funding. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to do more research on
KB Rob says you can whoop them. Mm-hmm. The police told us that you can't break the skin or abuse them. Punch their ass in the elbow.
Good note.
Right. So that is our spiel on the Department of Education. And now we're going to talk about segregation. Okay. Now, Trump the other day signed into law for federal contractors that they do not have to provide that they can segregate under the federal umbrella. Now, a lot of people interpreted that to say that that means that people can go back to putting up black only section, I mean white only section, black sit here, blah blah blah. That's not what it that's not what the legislation reads. That's not what it says. But let's go a step further and let's just say that they do come back and start some segregation shit. Let me tell you why this is the best thing for black people. For one, right? Let's just talk about restaurants.
Okay.
If I go to your restaurant and you have a section for blacks only, that means that I need to go support my black people that's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to your bank and you say that I cannot bank with you, I'm going to the black owned banks. Is it about the restroom situation? That's what he was getting at. The transgender issue and the whole bathroom situation. That, and I will say this. And I'm getting off topic. I have to agree with Trump, and I know that's crazy, but when he talks about transgender women in women's sports, that's a no. I agree with him. If you were born a man, until you get that penis cut, you are a man. Compete with the boys. Don't be over here dominating the women. Don't be over here doing that.
They
No.
ban you on TikTok. They're gonna say you transphobic.
I'm not transphobic.
I'm joking.
TikTok. What I'm saying is, if you were born a boy, Craig, go play with the boys. No reason for you to be playing with the girls.
Yeah.
And whooping them girls' asses.
Biologically,
and if you are biologically born a boy and you have not went and got your shit clipped,
and you're not taking.
Stay over there with the boy. No, they.
But even with hormones, you still have it don't even equate.
Now, here's my take on the bathroom thing, right? If you are a man and you dress up as a woman, let's just say 90% of the times with the surgeries and reconstructive surgeries and facial, whatever hormones, we don't know if they really men or women or if they just big women. If you come into a woman's bathroom and you are respectful, like I said, I'm not talking about the openly, you can tell that's a man, dick swinging. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who are passing and you do not know. Then how are we to know that we in the bathroom with a man? I'm talking about the ones who are just men who say, "Oh, I feel like a woman today," and you walking in the woman's bathroom with women and little girls. And although all the bathrooms have doors on them, I'm not cool with a man being in the bathroom with me and my grandchild. And that's totally off subject, but KB Rob brought that up, and I'm just saying I agree with Trump along those lines. Now back to this segregation shit. Okay. If you go to a restaurant and they have a section that says whites only, and you're directed to another section,
I'm gonna leave.
Even if you don't leave, let's just say this your favorite restaurant, and you just gotta have it. Do y'all know our section gonna be lit? It's gonna be where the party at. Y'all already know anywhere that we go, it's always a party. It's always a party. What was that? That noise? Mm-hmm. Oh, that I got an email on my business account. It's always a party.
Y'all tap the screen if y'all. That's what they be saying on TikTok. Tap the screen, like it.
Oh yeah, tap the screen, like.
I don't know. Yeah, I just be seeing people do that.
I guess I see some. Can you give me some likes over on TikTok?
I go on there and do it.
Hey, KB Rob.
Because why not?
Listen, when I tell you my girl KB Rob supports me on every turn, and I love her for that. Thank you so much. But There go my likes. All right. Thank you. So, yeah. Oh, you so loud. So anyway, basically what I'm saying is go where you are wanted, not where you're tolerated. Go where you're loved, not where you're tolerated. Even in this season, even if we go to, let's just say, McDonald's, and they're like, "Oh, well, y'all have to sit over here." If you not if you offended, walk out. Go somewhere else. This is the we can't let their foolishness bother us. And again, this is nothing new. My mother saw segregation. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. But on the flip side of that, they didn't have to go to the white grocery store. We had a black community grocery store. They didn't have to go to the white dressmaker like Sears. They had a sister down the street that could sew and make the baddest outfits. So what I'm saying is, if this is something that they plan on doing, then what is that? What was that? Girl, did you see that gold chain? What is that? I don't know. Thank you for the gold chain, whoever sent it. Appreciate it. But thank you, KB Rob. But yeah, so we as a people have to realize this is not the first time we've seen this. So basically what I'm saying is we may want to jump the gun and just start supporting our black, take all of our black dollars. Because here's something that white people know for sure. When we get money, we can't hold it. We can't hold it. We're not putting it in no damn bank. We spending it. Last month, when they did the blackout, when they did the blackout, the numbers showed. Revenues were down. Stocks went down. We spend money. Mm-hmm. Think back to COVID when they gave those stimulus checks, right? People were spending money like they had lost their damn minds. They was living rent free, light bill free, and then the government gave you money. And what did we turn around and do? Put it right back in the economy. That's why you didn't notice a big drop in the economy during COVID, because they gave us money and we gave it right back. We put it right back in the economy. So black dollar spend. When white people get money, they take it to the stock market. They put it in 401ks. They put their money up. When we get money, when y'all get money, y'all spend it. I'm not spending mine. I'm trying to save a little something. But we have to be, again, we have to realize that what's going on is something that has happened before. Some of your grandparents, some of our parents lived through it. And again, maybe it's time that we, are more proactive and start shopping black now.
Or
start investing in us now. Now, for black business owners, that means that you all are going to have to step your game up. That means that if you say that you're going to be open Monday through Friday, be open Monday through Friday.
Unless you do field print.
So one thing about it, I set my own schedule.
Let me say so.
Go ahead. A lot of our kids don't have good examples to begin with. That's very true. That's very true. And that's why we have to get back to that village and have a good village. Sometimes we have villages and the villages ain't about shit either. And so we have to go back to having good villages, because if you come from a village that ain't about shit, you just circulating ain't shit to your kids. And so we have to want better Like some people are raised just to survive, and I get that, but you have to kind of want to get out of that cycle of just surviving.
Mhm.
All right, now what was you saying?
So when I just found out about this today, and honestly, a lot of the comments from black people, they were like, "We not finna take the bait," because what they want to happen is for us to get out and protest, be upset and angry,
So they
so
can
they can
kill us.
turn it into more of a martial law thing where Trump can stay in office as long as he so pleases. So I feel like this is definitely the time where we silently protest with our dollars. We silently protest with our dollars. Stop investing in these places that do not want us to purchase their stuff. For those people, Lulu, that man, the owner, does not want y'all wearing his stuff. So please stop going and buy Lulu and find you somebody else, maybe on TikTok, a black content creator or designer who can get you some cute little workout outfits. I'm trying my best not to do that, to invest in those type of places. I haven't shopped at Target. I stopped shopping at Target even before the whole protest, but it made me not want to do it even more because anybody got time for that? Yeah. But some other people are a little bit ignorant to it, but they don't realize the significant impact of our money. Mm-hmm. Our money drives the economy. Mm-hmm. So if we're not spending with these people, they're going to try everything within their power, especially if they done showed us who they are already, right, to get money from us. And I feel like this is the time for black businesses. Don't start boosting your prices. Some of y'all might need to lower it, but put out quality work. Take time to pour into your product and produce some good stuff that people actually want to buy. This is the time now more than ever for your business to be on point and for you to produce something that can create generational wealth within your families. Also, as long as it's not a violent thing with this whole potential segregation, and it's not violence towards extreme violence towards black individuals, as long as it's not affecting my students, because I love my students. I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they come from. I love each and every one of them like they are my own. So I would hate for that to pour over into education because these kids are my kids, they're so pure. And we were having a conversation during Black History Month where we were going over segregation a little bit, and we were like, how would you feel if this happened to you? And they're sad. These kids don't look at each other like, oh, that's a black kid, that's the Asian kid. They love each other just as much as if they were like family. Mm-hmm. So I would hate that if that spilled over into education. Yeah. But I think that's a violation of rights with that, because everybody has the right to education. And they're not to be discriminated. But if they're gonna do that, then they need to bring back critical race theory. They need to re-implement DEI, especially at the collegiate level, because a lot of people went and got their degrees in African American studies, and now they can no longer take those courses. Or there were scholarship programs. I'll come cut for you. There were scholarship programs for minorities that had to either change their name or no longer receive funding, and that's just not right. Yeah. But you know what's very interesting? Especially, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm in a group chat with some people who are in Greek orgs, and I was sharing with them when this stuff started happening with like them sending out impeachment information, and they were like, "Oh, this isn't gonna work." And I'm like, "Well, I'm pretty sure our grandparents and ancestors probably thought the same, but they actually went forth with it." And I said, if this is not going to work, what is your organization doing to help? Right. And guess what? They had nothing. I said, are they hosting a protest? Are they hosting a meeting? Are they sharing information? No. But y'all done created a party page. So don't be complaining when y'all stuff get.
I will say that Black people as a whole are more reactive than proactive, and we have to stop that. So we have some questions over on TikTok that I saw. KB Rob said, "Is this your first time live on TikTok?" No, it's my second time. The first time was the other night with the blood moon. I went live, and she said, "I do too, even though I love Target. Target ain't really my jump off. I'm a Walmart girl, but if Walmart keep on, I'm gonna be. I already started my own garden, but thank you all for sharing the lives. Thank you all for tuning in live with us. But yeah, so again, segregation might not be a bad thing in 2025 because if we are forced to not be able to go where we want to go and we have to put that money back into our communities, what's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with it. I do, however, like I said, Black business owners, if you're gonna do it right. If if you say you have this product, have this product. Um, and this may be the wake up call that Black America need.
Mm-hmm. We all need to get it together when it comes to that because I don't know, we work better as a unit, and I feel like if we're all on the same
one
accord,
band, one sound,
all on the same accord, it can show people that we can really come together and really, stay out of these people's stores that don't like us. Stop wearing Tommy Hilfiger, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Dior, all those things. Stop doing that and invest in maybe, I don't know, some property, maybe your child's education, maybe investing in a life insurance policy. I don't know,
death benefits,
yeah. So when we
things
pass
that we
on,
need,
we don't get taken advantage.
That we don't have to have a fish fry.
Yeah, I think that would probably, no shade, but I think that's what we could start working on.
Right. Now let me tell you what I think is going to be funny if we go back into segregation. Sports. Because if you segregate sports,
it's really, but honestly,
our team gonna win in everything. We gonna even take over hockey. I think we could whoop their ass in hockey. I think so.
We'll have to see.
They'll have to learn how to skate on the ice, but I think, listen, let me tell you something.
It's too cold.
Okay, y'all keep hockey. Everything else, I think we got it. Baseball, football, basketball. Can you imagine the average football team? We already dominating in track. Now, where they might get us at is that cross country long distance shit. Because niggas is quick for running away, getting away. We ain't too good at long distance marathon running.
Honestly, I don't want there to be division. I wish this. I want peace amongst everybody.
I do too, but I'm just being realistic. If we are moving towards that, I don't see it being a bad thing.
I'm just scared about the violence.
Let's just say they bring back segregation in schools. I think that would raise.
I ain't gonna have no job.
You would have a job. You would teach at a Black school. What do you mean?
I don't want that.
Why?
Oh, I like a good mixture. I like them all. I like. So
you say you don't want Bebe's kids? That would
not by myself.
That would be a great challenge.
Not with the year I had. No.
But was your student? Your best student was
white. They were.
So you can't put that off on Bebe's kids. You gotta put that off on Charlie's kids. So yeah. So let's see. A lot of okay, Carlos. Do we still have people on YouTube? Look like one person is still on YouTube. That might be me. That's probably me. Let's see who's on TikTok. So
Look at I got your likes.
I see,
I'm
girl.
I don't know how TikTok live works.
I
But
really
I
don't
feel
know
like it would be
either.
good for something.
Hey, add live goals.
Mm-mm.
Check requirements. Get more viewers. You can.
No, you can get paid.
I don't know what that means. Match on live.
Are you gonna go live with somebody?
Why go live alone? Use TikTok hosts to participate in the game. Oh.
Let's do it. Let's talk to the people.
Okay, so YouTube. It's about that time. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Straight No Chaser again. Thank you, Quin or Bree, whichever she want to go
It
by,
was fun.
for tuning in as my special guest host. Thank you all for showing up. KB Rob, thank you, thank you, thank you. You my girl. You show up every week, and I definitely appreciate you. Thank you, Carlos, for tuning in. What? All right. So we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
We going over to the tick of the talk land.